we're back.
We are indeed.
We've had a little bit of a break from the podcast, unplanned.
It was
So
just too busy, wasn't it?
apologies if you were on tenterhooks waiting for the next episode to come out. If you're listening to this week by week, um, most of our listeners are busy people as well, though, I think. So I'm sure you're probably getting this on catch up, in which case you won't have even noticed. But yeah, we've been away for 2 weeks, I think.
It's
Possibly,
2 weeks.
possibly. Yeah, I think it's two,
Two.
possibly
Yeah.
knocking on three. Um, why did we have a break?
I think it was just so busy, and I think I went. No, we went up north
Yeah,
for that gig,
yeah,
and then life just galloped away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We didn't want to do it. Uh, well, I'm being honest. Like we've said this about the podcast from the start, haven't we? This is about as real as it gets. It's about as authentic as it gets. You know, we are just like I think a lot of our listeners, we are busy can't even say the word hospitality hosts. We are property developers. We've got a big project on the go. We're balancing that with everything else. This isn't a cry for help, by the way, but just sometimes it's to then make the time to come on and record the podcast. As much as we do love doing it, occasionally we just need a bit of a break.
Also, it takes an inordinate amount of time to upload it.
It does, you're right, because we have absolutely shocking Wi-Fi. We have a 4G dongle that's about 100 times slower than 4G. So it really does take a long time. So it's quite a time-consuming process. So yeah, that's a complete honest confession to our listeners, is that we just wanted to have a break.
It's quite a bit of an impact, isn't it? Because sometimes you're working and you get a lag, and you think something's gone through and it hasn't gone through, and then you have to start all
Yeah.
over again. So it does make you appreciate the stability of the life.
But I think our listeners will respect that. I think they'll appreciate that. I know some of the people that listen. I know how busy they are, and yeah, we've always made no apologies of the fact that we'll record this wherever we are. If we're as we are again winning competitions for the most shoddy background to a YouTube video podcast edition. So we're sat in front of the one of the windows in Sefton Place. So this is a pre-refurbed property with some ropey shelving next to us, some dodgy yellow curtains, but we don't even have the blind up because it's getting dark outside. So it is what it is. But despite the fact that we continue to live a very simple life down here, we have two portable oil heaters that we move around the various rooms now that it's starting to get cold. We don't have heating. If we want to use hot water, we have to press a boost button and we get about half an hour of hot water for a shower. We've got a very basic kitchen. We don't have a washing machine.
I don't suppose you're going to let me tell my
no. No, yeah, trials and tribulations of using laundrettes. So we have a very simple life down here, but we're still very much enjoying it. We've been here for 4 months. I've been here pretty much non-stop for 4 months, to be honest, just to oversee things. And we love the place. We love where we are. And speaking of which, you've had a lovely birthday season.
So my birthday started on Tuesday. It was my birthday, wasn't it?
That was your actual birthday.
Yeah, so we went for a lovely meal to our local pub. That was gorgeous. That's the George at Burpham. That was lovely.
Yeah, fantastic.
It did start off with a bacon roll at Mott and Bailey, didn't it?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It's as you know, it's all about the food for us. We mark occasions through good food. I had the beef brisket, which was melt in your mouth, was incredible. What did you have? Duck. The duck was good. And then this weekend we had the whole family, the whole crew, well, almost the whole crew here, apart from Will, who's out in Dubai. So organised for them to come down to spend your birthday weekend. And again, we had a really nice meal in the Italian. God, I haven't been so full for such a long time. Yeah, I had the mortadella and ricotta pizza. Which was stunning as always, La Campagna in Arundel. So it's a really nice weekend, wasn't it? Done a lot of walking.
Did a really lovely walk again today. Breakfast at Mott and Bailey.
Yeah.
And then nice walk up.
Yeah.
Around. Oh, we forgot to mention the Black Horse. We've been to the Black Horse.
Yeah, had a nice drink at the Black Horse in Amberley.
Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, we've just given it away there. We just spent all time, eating and drinking. No, it's been a nice few days. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've had a nice time. But we're back. We are back. And a huge amount has happened. So it certainly wasn't a case of we didn't have anything to talk about. Far from it. We were very conscious of what was building up in the background that we need to tell you all about. So what have we got coming up? Well, we have big news about Staycation Gateway. We've been teasing it for a while. So we are going to tell you where we're up to with that one. Very exciting. We have so much to tell you about Sefton Place. Lots has been happening. Lots is coming together. Sorry, just crashing around. So big updates on that one. It's sort of getting to the crux of things, isn't it, really? Sefton Place, which is good. And then, as always, our lovely guests don't allow us to just focus on a new project. You know, they keep drawing us back into the business. And you in particular have had, well, you and the rest of the team have had some interesting experiences to deal with over at guess where, Eton House. No spoiler alerts. No. So, should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's get into it. So, Staycation Gateway is officially live. We are live, staycationgateway.com. Really excited. Would love for you to check it out. Would love to hear your feedback. We think that this is becoming something quite groundbreaking. It's everything that Airbnb should be and isn't. Obviously, not with that scope at present, but who knows, the sky's the limit for this. What we're really trying to do here is put the people, places and produce that make UK staycations so special in one place, but at the front and center. So, you know how we've all been on training courses, we've all been to conferences, we've all been to networking events where you get told that it'd be a really good idea for your business to recommend local places to eat and drink and things like that. And so we do that, and we think, well, that adds value to us as a hospitality provider, and maybe even we go one step further and we actually form partnerships with some of those local businesses. But at the heart of it all, we're still accommodation providers, and therefore that is really lip service. What we wanted to do with Staycation Gateway is put the experience side of things front and center. So not pay lip service to it, not like Airbnb does, not like most other operators do, not like we have done in the past, if we're entirely honest about it. This puts it right at the center where the accommodation is the byproduct. Now, that might sound strange coming from an accommodation provider, but the logic here is that if we can establish the Staycation Gateway with your help as one of the go-to platforms for anyone who is planning an itinerary or is interested and passionate about their next place to go in the UK, then this is the portal to do that. The team have been working feverishly on this for the last few months in the background. We put a huge amount of content together already for some of the national park, well, all of the national parks, beauty spots and historic towns in the UK. I will let you talk in a minute. So you can tell I'm passionate about this. I'm really passionate about it. And the other thing that we're doing, which is what might be of interest to people listening to this, is we're giving holiday let operators the opportunity to list and advertise their property, piggyback off the exposure that we believe we're going to be getting over the next few months as things continue to gain momentum, to list entirely for free. 100%, always, no fee, no commission, nothing at all. And the hope is that with all you lovely people on board, we can create this fantastic portal of amazing holiday accommodation close to these historic towns, national parks and beauty spots. And it's just going to go from strength to strength. We're setting up some really cool interactive stuff, Instagram lives, podcasts with some of the producers and suppliers and stuff. We call them the makers, out and about in the field.
I'm smiling because I'm thinking off the back of this is it's not like we don't have many places to visit here, but it affords us the opportunity to visit many other places.
Unfortunately, listeners, we got to go eat more food, and we've just got to do it further afield. We got to go out and visit all these places. No, joking aside, like we're fairly well traveled when it comes to the UK. We do like our sort of weekends away and places like that. But I've already got a list based on the content we've been putting together of places like, oh, I really need to get out and check that place out. And we do want to bring it live and real. Again, something like Airbnb's never going to do. We want to be actually, bringing these places to life for people. So that's really exciting. So staycationgateway.com, check it out. Follow us, please, on Instagram as well, staycation.gateway, I think it is on Instagram from memory, but search it up, you'll find it. Give us a follow wherever you can, and your support would mean the world, and we're going to grow bigger and better together. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Okay, Sefton Place. Lots of stuff's been happening at Sefton Place. Where are we up to? Should we give a quick potted?
One thing I want to say is I don't think we've ever had so many surveys, so many plans,
Yeah.
so much preliminary stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we are going belts and braces with this one. There's no question about it. And it warrants it. It's a big project, a big chunk of building. It's a beautiful building. We want to do it justice. We want to do it properly. But yeah, it's well, let's the positive way to do it. Let's just say that we're very keen to get going. We're very keen to get going. The planning has been great. That's plenty of planning. Let's get started. And speaking of which, we have the pretty much 99.9%. We have the full pack of plans and everything we need as a tender pack now to go out to contractors, to builders. We've been talking to a builder for a while that that we like and that we were thinking about using. Their initial costings have come back higher than we would like, so we are still reaching out to other building companies. We've got another meeting this week. We're meeting with the builder we met in the pub. I mean, that sounds unprofessional, doesn't it?
Even pub,
as in the car park. Yeah, the pub car park, even worse. But no, it's funny how these things happen. And I think there's a message in this. That is genuinely what happened, by the way. We were, funnily enough, coming out of the pub, having spent an hour or so reviewing the costings.
I'd had a traumatic conversation about something else.
Oh yeah, we'll come on to that. Yeah, we'll come on to that one. So
I was feeling a bit battered anyway.
Caroline had been dealing with the drama. We'd been working through the costings. We came out into the car park. A lovely looking Land Rover Defender caught my eye, and it happened to be a building company or a refurbishment company. And we were going to walk past, weren't we? And then we both kind of looked at each other and went, well, should we ever? Well, you said, because you're that sort of person. You said, oh, shall I just go? Yeah, well, I go and knock on the window. That's exactly what you did. And 20 minutes later, having a really good chat, getting a feel for what they do as a business. Poor chap only stopped to go to the loo, I think, didn't he? And the pub. The long and short of it is that we've supplied all the plans and they're hopefully coming for a site visit later this week. So that'd be good. So yeah, we're basically at that point now where we can start to we have all the information that a builder would need to quote and to map out a schedule of works and that sort of thing. So it's gone on a little bit longer than we would have liked, and so now we're really keen to get this going.
We couldn't have started before this anyway.
No, that's what I mean. This process has gone a bit like we would have liked to have been. Well, having said that, we've done the bulk of the rip out, so we can get cracking as soon as we find our builder that we're going to partner with. So that's good. Meanwhile, our planning application, touch wood.
I know, I was noticing the metal table.
Yeah, touch wood. Seems to be going through fairly seamlessly. No objection. I was going to say no major objection, no objection at all, seemingly, from the public consultation. There's been a couple of bits that we need to do under BNG, not to be confused with BFG, BNG, biodiversity net gain. So it turns out that our very simple little gravel pathways, unfortunately, just slightly exceed the amount of green space, and it is just lawn, that you're allowed to lose as part of a project without having to replace it several times over. I forget exactly what
Such a shame because
10%, is it?
yeah,
Yeah,
10%.
not several times over, sorry. I think you've got to increase it by 10%,
Yeah.
something along those lines. So we've got a load of forms to fill out to do with that, and to explain the what we plan to do, both to replace that and also actually to add to the environment. So we're hopeful that that will be the last
Yeah.
piece in the process. Don't you think? Trees seems to be okay. So yeah, so I think we're getting there, which is good. We've had the interior designs looking gorgeous. Um, really cool to see it sort of coming to life. You've been going backwards and forwards a bit with Abby on bathroom designs, vanity units, and that sort
Tiles
of thing.
versus shower panels. If anyone's
Yeah.
got any thoughts on that, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm just a bit of a traditionalist, but it ends up costing us more money because I'm quite a stickler for tiles rather than vinyl on the floor.
Yeah, but
And
it's not vinyl, is it? It's
no,
like
I know, I know. It's moved on a lot, and also tiles rather than shower panels and stuff like. But again, I'm sure there are some lovely ones. So if anyone's had any experience of using those things, well, we have as well, to be fair. But I still do like a nice tile. Um, but yeah, we have to be realistic. The key is to get that sort of 5-star look, whilst being smart with your
yeah.
budget, isn't it? That's really what we're looking for. And we're really starting to hone in on the color scheme, the tone, the sort of mood boards, which has allowed us to engage with a freelancer about designing the logo
Yeah, yeah, which is
and
good.
the branding. And that's been quite tricky because not the logo as such, but
Location.
location. I wasn't going to, but yeah, the location. We are on the outskirts of Arundel. We're actually in a little hamlet called Warning Camp. But as much as we would love to, and we'll continue to try and put Warning Camp more and more on the map, Arundel is the draw in terms of the name. But we don't want to mislead people that we're not actually in the town of Arundel. So yeah, that's one. But no, I was.
If it was all built up,
Well, our address is Arundel.
yeah, it
Yeah,
would be. It's
Warning
just
Camp
there's a big
Arundel.
field between Arundel and
Um, Oh no, I was thinking more of the description. So, really trying to find an accurate representation of what our accommodation offering is without using either overused, labored phrases that have lost their meaning or just don't carry the kind of premium tag that we want. So, essentially, we are a kind of boutique self-catering accommodation.
yeah, that's not else.
Exactly. It doesn't exactly have a ring to it. Self-catering sounds a bit yeah. Yeah, but it's just not the product. Yeah, it's not accurate. But we do need to get that across because we're not just hotel rooms. We're not a standard hotel, but we're also not apartments. Except, well, there is obviously a holiday let element to it, but the rooms are not. You can't really get away with calling them apartments. So we think we've settled on a description, don't we? And accommodation is a little bit dry as well. I don't know why my notes has just popped up on front of the screen there. Strange. Yeah, accommodation's a bit of a dry term, isn't it, as well? So we've come up with boutique studio stays in the South Downs as our tagline, which we like. You were a little bit, for the same sort of reasons, a bit nervous about the studio because it sounds a little bit resi, doesn't it? But it does.
See, the ones I liked was the ones we previously styled
studio rooms.
But then you haven't got the sort of fact that you can, look after. I don't want to say self-catering. It's really hard to describe.
At least studio implies there's a kitchen. And I think the word studio bookended by boutique, if we go with the word boutique, also a little bit overused, but boutique and stays sort of takes away the resi element. So boutique studio stays in the South Downs is kind of where we're at. But if you think you can do better, then send us a message over on Instagram at Secret Service Podcast. But that's where we think we're up to with the branding side. Sefton Place, Arundel, boutique studio stays in the South Downs. Okay. I appreciate you may not want to revisit the experience you had last week. Caroline's call sheet on her mobile
having a bad week.
Yeah,
Wing.
when it reads 999 999, safeguarding unit 999,
Temporary housing officer.
temporary housing office. And you think, God. So,
Yeah.
do you want to?
So basically, we've had a guest at Eton House, a long stay guest, who was booked in via booking.com from the South Somerset Council. So we have no way of blocking this. They just book via booking.
Under different names.
Different names. So the guest arrived, what was it, 2 weeks ago, playing loud noise, disruptive, antisocial behaviour. We had to move.
Like pretty full on, like
Okay,
screaming,
yeah.
shouting, clearly drug use, intoxicated, etc. Sorry, go on.
We had to move the guest that was next to him, so we had to move him to another room. Obviously, paying for a clean for that room, paying for another clean for that room. Block out the room next to him so that we didn't offer that room out to somebody else. And then I think it was Thursday night on our Slack channel, there was an issue saying, oh yeah, he's causing even more problems.
Yeah, threatening behavior, all of this sort of thing. And it's not, in this case, unfortunately, because of the situation that the council have landed us in, which we'll get onto in a second, about, in my opinion, how entirely inappropriate it is what they're doing. This is not just a case of sending the heavies round and kicking them out on the street. This is someone who is sort of classed as a vulnerable adult, shouldn't be there, in our opinion, but is now there. And yeah, but equally is threatening behaviour towards other guests
towards our guests, towards the staff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've quite often got lone workers there. They're not comfortable going in, up and around that room.
Yeah.
So the paramedics were called out early evening on Thursday, and one of our other guests, who's actually a paramedic on a training course, was actually helping, and calm down the guests. So I spoke to her and very appreciative and thanked her profusely for that. And then it started kicking off again about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I then called the police, who then attended at about 10:30 that night. 4 officers came. They went up, they spoke to him, calmed him down, and then he was then due to check out the following day. I knew it wouldn't go smoothly, so I got a message from Zoe to say, nope, he's not checked out. He's no intention.
Refusing to leave. Yeah, we've had one exactly the same scenario from exactly the same setup before, and we did notify the council and ask them to put it on file that we don't wish to host any more of these types of stays, and yet for now they keep on coming.
So I then spoke to the temporary housing officer at South Somerset Council. That's one sentence, but it took a long time to actually get through to them. You've got the call dialing system. You have to, go through various channels in order to actually speak to somebody. And then they said, oh, I can't get hold of the person that booked it. I'll call you back. And then you think, they're never going to call me back. Meanwhile, I'm sat in a pub because I haven't got any Wi-Fi. And, it's just endless stress. Then you finally get through to them and they say, yep, the taxi's been called. He knows he's got to get out. And then you think, yeah, but does he?
Yeah.
But he did, and he left at
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
it was
So
all.
we
I mean,
have a claim for that.
yeah,
from
and the council will pay, and it's sort of, I just don't know I don't know what awareness is within the wider public that this is happening, that where they stand with their liability. And when I did question this the last time, that's when we got an immediate action from them, because I think they know they're on dodgy ground. So this isn't the council reaching out to us as accommodation providers, give us a call and saying, hey, we've got this situation, we need to put these people up for what, can we do it? They book via booking.com completely anonymously, but it is the council to place these vulnerable adults. And when I say vulnerable, like,
he's homeless.
he's homeless and
he's actually been banned from Taunton Town Centre.
He's been banned for abusive behaviour. He's been bounced around, and they just sort of seemingly surreptitiously slide them into hotels, hope they can get away with it, and while they're homeless. Our terms and conditions clearly state that it cannot be someone's principal prime residence, which I guess it kind of isn't, but it's still, it's a bit of a grey area for us from an sort of an insurance point of view, and how they get off, if you like, on doing that and putting our staff, other members of the public, essentially at risk. I just don't understand how this is happening. I would love to know if anybody else has had a similar experience from a council in their area. I do feel inclined to, you know, raise awareness, shall we say, and let people know that this is going on, because it just seems completely wrong to me. For the clearly the residents are very stressed by the whole process. It's not working for anybody. It seems that the council are just, I get it, they're probably overrun. They're just trying to get by and get through, kind of thing. But it's putting lots of people at risk. It's putting our business at risk. And their only real response is send us a bill and we'll try moving them on to this place. It blows my mind. It really does. It just seems like it's a complete um, abuse of their safeguarding responsibility. But anyway, you've been dealing with that and having to get on the phone 999, which is never a pleasant thing to have to do. At least the police responded this time. They wouldn't even come out last time, and ironically, that was a child safeguarding issue. But anyway, you clearly spoke to the right person. Or said the right things, because you learn, unfortunately, you sort of learn how to play the game, as it were.
I think because in this instance it was an adult and there were other adults that were at risk.
Yeah.
I think that was the trigger.
Yeah. So, all fun and games, never a dull moment, as always. Well, that's a wrap for episode. Actually, it's not a wrap. I had a couple of other things we wanted to talk to. Should we just quickly cover these things? I'm getting ahead of myself. Revenue training. So Lisa is well into her revenue training now. So we've engaged with a company called BNB Boost, who offer a bespoke sort of revenue management training program, as it were, so that we can retain that knowledge base in-house rather than pay a revenue management company to do that, which hasn't worked for us in the past. And that seems to be really exciting. It's very intense. Lisa's going through 4 hours a day of structured training plus other learning and resources, and we're really looking forward to seeing the outcome from that. So yeah, get on with it, Lisa. Yeah, there's some big bold claims made about what a difference this is going to make to our revenue, so we'll report back on that one. But she's really, I think, enjoying the challenge. And it's about 3 months, I think, isn't it, as a training program? It's very intense. Yeah. So, let's hope that we see some sort of, I guess, return on investment for that as much as anything. And also, we are coming full circle again with quality and tourism.
Oh, can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah. Is it only a year? Yeah, it is a year, isn't it? So there's a renewal, well, not a renewal, but there's an updating process, not as rigorous as the initial accreditation process that we went through. If you've not followed that, then go back to, I don't know, season 2, 1, don't know, of the podcast to have a listen. But this is a bit of a sort of stock check of how things are going and resubmission of all of our compliance documentation and stuff like that, which is a big thing for us. We're still committed to that across the board. It's going to be I think that's going to be valued when it comes to Sefton Place as well. So that's exciting. So we've got our first sort of meeting with Quality and Tourism on the update process week after next, I think it is. We're getting Mariana involved in that in her new role as operations manager. She's doing a great job with that. And it's going to be good to have her sort of take the reins on that one as well. And speaking of operations, last thing, Asana. Starting to finally get to grips with Asana, and yeah, we're using it as a way to turn the onboarding process for new units, which we're under the cosh with at the moment because Shetland is so popular, and we're probably onboarding 3 or 4 a month,
Well,
maybe more.
in the next 3 weeks, we should have 16.
Yeah, so it's really going quickly, and it's a lot to keep track of. And yourself and Lisa have put a lot of work, and Jennifer have put a lot of work into creating a fairly manual checklist document that we want to make that as comprehensive as we can before we now do what we're doing. Is turn it into something much more interactive, where we can all oversee progress. You get statistics on which properties are what percentage complete, etc. And we're building all of that in Asana. So again, anyone who wants any tips, give me a month, and then I will hopefully be able to help you with Asana and using that. And I think it's a really interesting piece of software that we've sort of tiptoed around for a long time. I'm sure there'll be people listening to this going, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're not using Asana."
I've moved on from that.
Yeah. So yeah, we can see so many ways in which that's going to add value to our business. So we'll cover that in more detail. But that is definitely a wrap. That is now a wrap for episode 26 of season 3 of the Secret Service podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you're enjoying the podcast, please do spread the word. And we'd love to get more listeners. We'd love to connect with more hospitality hosts and service accommodation providers.
If you are a holiday let.
Staycation Gateway, get on it, literally get on it. If you have accommodation, good quality accommodation, anywhere around, and it has to be holiday let accommodation, as opposed to, we're not so much going down the route of kind of serviced accommodation in cities. Well, unless it's a historic city, I guess. But anyway, if you're anywhere near or in or near national parks, beauty spots, or historic towns, please do get onto it, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And I really think this is going to get momentum and gain traction. So would love to hear from you on that one. And check it out and let us know. Give us some feedback. If you spot anything you like or you don't like, let us know, because we are still at that building phase, aren't we? Don't forget as well to check us out on YouTube if you want to see and witness in person our wonderfully professional backdrops, our podcast studios on the move. Then you need to do that over on YouTube at Secret Service Podcast.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just checking your logo. I wondered if you were using
Weed free.
Complimentary weed-free top.
My weed-free fleece that one of the guests left. It's quite cozy, actually. That's quite nice. That's a perk of the job. Yeah, lost property, which probably shouldn't say that. Okay. Lovely to be back.
Yes.
And thank you so much for listening. And we will catch you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.